This is a video detailing the situation in Damascus as of July 31st. I thought I'd do this video just to give you an idea of what the front lines look like in Damascus, what the main areas of fighting are, and then hopefully later on today I'll make another video for today's actual developments. So we're going to start off in the north of Damascus, and the main districts where fighting is occurring are the districts of Kabun and Jobar, and to a lesser extent Barza, Zamalka and Ibrin. Now, Jobar was one of the most successful districts for the rebels when they made this latest push into Damascus several months ago. At the peak of that offensive, the rebels managed to get as far as Abbasin Square here, which, as you can see, is pretty close to Old Damascus, the center of Damascus. Since then, however, they've been pushed back, and from videos I've seen, mainly by the ANA news agency, it's an Abkhazi news agency that's embedded with SAA troops in the city, and they've posted videos of fighting in Kabun and Jobar and Daraya beforehand. And based on those videos, it appears to me that the current front lines in Jobar are roughly somewhere along here in the district. And since the majority of the fighting has been occurring along this road here, the SAA have been trying to keep the rebels it seems about 50 meters away from the road, and so the front lines in Kabun are roughly something like this, along here, like that. The issue, it appears to be that the SAA, even though they're able to move up this road and then push into either district and conduct raids and clear out whatever rebels are there, they seem to pull out come nighttime or whenever it may be, and then the rebels are able to infiltrate back in to these areas at the edges of these districts. I say that because the videos the ANA news agency have been posting for a few weeks now have been showing fighting occurring in the same areas over and over and over again, but yet the SAA are able to push into these areas. You can clearly see the troops moving into these areas, but they always pull out again. So it seems like they don't have the manpower to hold these areas as of yet, and so they pull out after the raids are done. That said, overall, of course, over the last few months there's been slow but steady progress pushing the rebels out of these two districts, and so I'd expect that within a month or 2 months all rebels will be expelled from these districts, especially if any reinforcements arrive from other areas of the country where the SAA are conducting offences, like in Homs or some other city. The only other area really we're mentioning is Barza, which was the scene of some heavy fighting maybe about a month ago, but since then it's died off. And last I heard from there was apparently a group of rebels trapped in the district somewhere around here, and apparently they were surrounded by the SAA. That was about a month ago. I haven't heard anything since. I don't know what happened to them there, but there's still sporadic clashes, small scale clashes in the district, but no major developments. So moving along to the south of Damascus, another major area of fighting up until quite recently was Daraya, and again the ANA news agency was posting many videos here, and because of that I'm able to assess what the front lines are pretty accurately. And so the last videos posted there, you could pretty clearly see that the front lines, despite once being pretty much at the center of Daraya, they seem to be at the very edges, somewhere along here now. And again, it appears to be the same situation, that either because they don't have the men or because they think there's no strategic value of pushing any further, the SAA are holed up in a defensive line along here, and they aren't willing or able to push any further to capture the very remaining last few 100 meters, maybe 100 meters or 200 meters. The other major district to the south to talk about is the district of Sayyidi Zainab, which houses the shrine of Sayyidi Zainab, a holy Shia shrine, one of the most holy Shia shrines in the world. And as a result of that, this entire district is guarded almost entirely by just foreign volunteers, Shia volunteers from Iraq and from Lebanon and from other places. The rebels constantly launch mortar strikes at the shrine, and that's the reason why so many volunteers have come to try to defend it. The last piece of information I heard from here, which was maybe a week and a half ago, maybe a bit more than that, was that the brigade consisting of these foreign volunteers defending the district had taken this southern neighborhood to prevent rebels again trying to launch more strikes from it. And so now the rebel areas seem to be restricted to these few districts here, just to the southwest, and that's where they're launching their mortar strikes from now. And as I mentioned in the last video I did about the front lines and how describing these areas as front lines is not exactly accurate because of how fluid they are and because of how many gaps there are. And this particular front, what explains that very well, as you can see to the south of the district, there's a major military complex consisting of several bases all along here. And then again to the south of that, there's an even bigger military complex of more bases. To the east, there's more bases all along here. And these, as far as I'm aware, are active bases. They haven't been abandoned or overrun or anything like that. And yet, despite there being so many military facilities in close proximity to this district, the rebels are still able to get in here and launch more strikes. So that just shows you how fluid these front lines are. Probably they aren't coming from the south or from the east, but more likely from Daraya, from the edges of this district along here and into these districts. They're also up in the Yarmouk Palestinian refugee camp. So it just goes to show, despite there being such major or such large scale SAA garrisons south and north of rebel areas, rebels are still able to get in without any problems, it seems. Probably due to their use of tunnels again. And the last district to talk about in relation to Damascus today is the countryside of Damascus, the eastern countryside, the eastern Ghouta region. This area, the rebels are in a circle around, if you can imagine, these 4 points: the northern point of Adra, an eastern point of Qusayya, southern point of Hamadia, and then a western point of the edges of Damascus city itself. So they're in a circle along here, along these 4 points, and the major fighting is occurring in clashes all along the edges of this circle. The major supply line for them is through Duma and Harasta, which are pretty big rebel strongholds. But again, even though the SAA are surrounding this whole area all along here, more than likely the rebels do have some tunnels or some other means of getting supplies and men through from the east and not just the west. The latest piece of fighting that occurred in this district was again a couple of weeks ago, the Al-Hamidiyya district was taken by SAA troops to try to provide a buffer zone between Damascus International Airport and rebels who were firing on airplanes and helicopters and other aircraft that were trying to land at the airport. And so, to the south anyway, the major areas of clashes are Marj al-Sultan and Deir Salman. Marj al-Sultan, up until the end of last year, it was taken by the rebels. It was the major military base for the SAA in this region, and taking it is what allowed them to control the majority of this area. So that is the situation as it stands in Damascus, to the best of my knowledge. If anyone has any corrections for me or anything like that, please let me know. Please post a link below, or point me in the right direction as to any mistakes I might have made. If anyone has any other suggestions on how I can improve the videos, just let me know. If you have any suggestions as what you'd like the next few videos to be on, just let me know. And as I said, hopefully I'll be able to make another video today detailing some of the other developments that have been going on in the country. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.